So good evening everyone and most welcome to our positive group, to our book reading group, to our reminder group to tell us that yes, we are practicing the magic and we are practitioners. So thank you for being there always whenever we wake up from our sleep that it's time to get back. Anyway, so I remember that we spoke whenever we met last time, that we would be practicing something or the other to keep us in the gratitude zone and the positive zone, mood shifters and everything. And I'm sure you all would be already following that. So, as we thought that we should read something, so let's start with our basic book, yeah, which from which every book has been um, brought up, right? The Secret. So every one of us have watched the movie The Secret, but we haven't read it. Okay, I read it once when first time The Secret came into my life in 2014, 15, and I just read it, and then I found the magic book also. But we should read it once, and I am also reading it with you together. So it's nothing that I know much better than, all of you. Nothing like that. So we will read it together, we'll understand it together, and we'll try to apply that in our lives. Okay. So The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. So what I'll do is I will just read the first foreword, and then we will start with the secret revealed because we are doing it weekly. So we would have to rush a little bit, but forward is important to know how this book was has come up. Yeah. So forward. A year ago, my life had collapsed around me. So the writer is talking how she came about writing this book. I would worked myself into exhaustion. My father had died recently, and my relationships with my work colleagues and loved ones were in turmoil. Little did I know at that time, out of my greatest despair was to come the greatest gift. So she was in the greatest despair of her life, and she didn't know that a greatest gift is gonna come in her life. I had been given a glimpse of a great secret, the secret to life. The glimpse came in a 100-year-old book given to me by my daughter Helly. I began tracing the secret back through history. I couldn't believe all the people who knew this. They were the greatest people in history: Plato, Shakespeare, Newton, Hugo, Beethoven, Lincoln, Emerson, Edison, Einstein. So she read this book, 100-year-old book, the book she had mentioned in the Power Book. This book was The Science of Getting Rich. And she read it because her daughter gave her, like, this may help you, like that. And when she read that, she couldn't believe there was a secret. There was a secret which was known to greatest people in history. These greatest people she has mentioned here, Newton, all the scientists, researchers knew this secret. So incredulous, I asked, why doesn't everyone know this? A burning desire to share the secret with the world consumed me, and I began searching for people alive today who knew the secret. So she ran, she became a seeker to find out all those people who were alive who knew the secret. So one by one, they began to emerge. I became a magnet. As I began to research, one great living master after another was drawn to me. So she's talking about all those people who were telecasted in the movie The Secret. So when she was finding them, when she had that desire to know those people, so universe helped her. So she became a magnet, and one great living master after another was drawn to me. So where I discovered one teacher, that one would link to the next in a perfect chain. If I was going on the wrong track, something else would catch my attention, and through the diversion, the next great teacher would appear. If I accidentally pressed the wrong link on an internet search, I would be led to a vital piece of information. So she is telling how universe was helping her when she was trying to find those people, because she's saying that even if I clicked something wrong, then I would lead to a vital piece of information. And if I was on the wrong track, something would catch her attention and then she would be directed to the right path. So in a few short weeks, I had traced the secret back through the centuries and I had discovered the modern day practitioners of the secret. So she found all those people who were actually practicing the secret in this modern world. The vision of taking the secret to the world in a film had become fixed in my mind. So she was making the movie first. Yeah, this book was written after the movie was released. And over the following 2 months, my film and television production team learned the secret. It was imperative that every team member knew it, because without its knowledge, what we were about to attempt would be impossible. So, obviously, her team members also got to know about it, and everyone applied that during the production of the movie. We did not have a single teacher secured to film, but we knew the secret. And so, with utter faith, I flew from Australia. Can you just 1 second? So we did not have a single teacher secured to film, but we knew the secret. So with utter faith, I flew from Australia to the United States, where the majority of the teachers were based. So she was in Australia, and just with faith, she went there. 7 weeks later, the secret team had filmed 55 of the greatest teachers across the United States. 7 weeks, in 7 weeks, with over 120 hours of film. With every step, with every breath, we use the secret to create the secret. We literally magnetized everything and everyone to us. 8 months later, the secret was released. Are you getting goosebumps right now? I mean, how could it be possible? Like from a completely different country in Australia to United States, where all those people were based. She found them, all the team found them, filmed them, made a movie. In just 7 weeks, they started making the movie. 2 hours of movie. Every one of us have seen that movie, and it's so it's so amazing that this happened like this. So as the film swept the world, yeah, everyone knows that when it was released, it was quite popular on YouTube. As the film swept the world, stories of miracle began to flood in. People wrote about healing from chronic pain, depression, and disease, walking for the first time after an accident, even recovering from a deathbed. So many people actually applied that and they started experiencing miracles in their lives. So those stories were being published and being told to them. And so we have received thousands of accounts of the secret being used to bring about large sums of money. So we have received thousands of accounts of the secret being used to bring large sums of money and unexpected checks in the mail. People have used the secret to manifest their perfect homes, life partners, cars, jobs, and promotions, with many accounts of businesses being transformed within days of applying the secret. There have been heartwarming stories of stressed relationships involving children being restored to harmony. Yeah. So there have been a lot of stories which people shared after watching The Secret, and people applied that in their lives. So some of the most magnificent stories we have received have come from children using The Secret to attract what they want, including high grades and friends. The Secret has inspired doctors to share the knowledge with with their patients, universities and schools with their students, health clubs with their clients, churches of all denominations and spiritual centers with their congregations. There are secret parties being held in homes around the world as people share the knowledge with loved ones and families. The secret has been used to attract all manner of things, from a specific feather to $10 million. Yeah. So a specific feather means someone is just visualizing a specific feather, they can attract it, and even they can attract $10 million. So it varies what you want. So this is what she's telling. So people have attracted a lot of different varieties of dreams, in their lives. Could be health, could be money, could be relationships, could be anything. So all of this has taken place in a few months since the release of the film. My intention is creating The Secret was and still is that it will bring joy to billions around the world. The Secret team is experiencing the realization of that intention every day as we receive thousands upon thousands of letters from people across the world of all ages, all races, and all nationalities expressing gratitude for the joy of The Secret. There isn't a single thing that you cannot do with this knowledge. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, The Secret can give you whatever you want. I think it's all clear. Shall I explain anything in this? Because she's just telling her. So she's telling how Secret actually changed people's lives after the release of the movie, and how people have sent letters and they have shared their stories on their Secret website and all, and how this was applied. And she has not told anything about what The Secret is till now. She's just telling how it happened and what was it. So 24 amazing teachers were featured in this book. So in this book she's writing, there are 24 teachers. So this book has quotes of all those people whom she met in the United States, and she would be explaining everything from the basics. So their words were filmed all over the United States at all at different times. Okay. Yet they speak as one voice. So these 24 amazing teachers are saying something which is written in this book, all at different times, yet they speak as one voice. That means everyone is saying the same secret, and everyone has told at different times. This book contains the secret teacher's words, and it also contains miraculous stories of the secret in action. I have shared all of the easy paths, tips, and shortcuts that I have learned so that you can live the life of your dreams. So she will also put her tips and shortcuts, and also tell the wordings of the teachers in this book. You will notice throughout the book that in certain places I have capitalized the word you. The reason I did this is because I want you, the reader, to feel and know that I created this book for you. I'm speaking to you personally when I say you. My intention for you to feel a personal connection with these pages, because the secret has been created for you. So, every one of you who is listening and reading to this stanza, just be very careful that whenever the book says you, that means you who is reading the book. That has been created for you. Okay? So, as you travel through its pages and you learn the secret, you will come to know how you can have, be, or do anything you want. You will come to know who you really are. You will come to know the true magnificence that awaits you. Okay. So I would request every one of you, I would share this in the group. Please go through these acknowledgements also. It is very, very important. It's just that there are a lot of very many people who have actually contributed to the movie, to the book. So they are very important people who have contributed to the production of this book, so the book can reach you. So I just request every one of you to go through these 4 pages, because if I go through these pages now, we will be meeting next week. So I just want to cover first chapter. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely fine.
Thank you. But just read them because they need our acknowledgement before we can enter into the world of the secret. Okay. So the secret revealed. So Bob Proctor, philosopher, author, and personal coach. So you can also research about these people on YouTube, and I think you must have remembered in the movie also there was Bob Proctor who was also telecast. So the secret gives you anything you want: happiness, health, and wealth. Dr. Joe Vitale, metaphysician, marketing specialist, and author. You can do, you can have, do, or be anything you want. Have, do, or be. That means whatever you want, you can have. Whatever you want to do, you can do. And whatever you want to be in your life, you can do anything that you want with the secret. John Ashraf, entrepreneur and money making expert. We can have whatever it is that we choose. I don't care how big it is. So, what kind of a house do you want to live in? Do you want to be a millionaire? What kind of a business do you want to have? Do you want more success? What do you really want? So, he's saying we can have whatever it is that we choose. I don't care how big it is. But what do you really want? Really want. That means from your heart. Let's see how. Dr. John DeMartini, philosopher, chiropractor, healer, and personal transformation specialist. This is the great secret of life. Dr. Dennis Waitley, psychologist and trainer in the field of mind potential. The leaders in the past who had the secret wanted to keep the power and not share the power. They kept people ignorant of the secret. People went to work, they did their job, they came home. They were on a treadmill with no power because the secret was kept in the few. So, this knowledge was not shared in the past to everyone because they wanted to rule the world and they never wanted to share the power to people. They wanted people to be ignorant of the secret. Throughout history, there have been many who coveted the knowledge of the secret, and there have been many who found a way of spreading this knowledge to the world. Michael Bernard Beckwith, visionary and founder of Agape International Spiritual Center. I have seen many miracles take place in people's lives: financial miracles, miracles of physical healing, mental healing, healing of relationships. Okay, so these are all wordings of those all people, and it's quite straightforward. So I'm just reading it for now. Jack Canfield, author, teacher, life coach, and motivational speaker. All of this happened because of knowing how to apply the secret. So he's saying that all of this happened because of knowing. He's the writer of Chicken Soup for the Soul. He's the same person which we saw in the movie. So what is the secret, Bob Proctor? You have probably been sitting there wondering, what is the secret? I'll tell you how I have come to understand it. We all work with one infinite power. We all guide ourselves by exactly the same laws. The natural laws of the universe are so precise that we don't even have any difficulty building spaceships. We can send people to the moon and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. Yeah, that's true. Universe laws, the nature's laws of the universe are so accurate, and fraction of seconds can also be determined that when we will land, what time we will be landing into the space or the moon or any spaceship that we are sending. So these are all very, very accurate. Even the flight speed when we fly from any country to another, they are quite precise because this is the science. Similarly, the book that we are reading is also a science of the laws of universe. Wherever you are, India, Australia, New Zealand, Stockholm, London, Toronto, Montreal, or New York, we are all working with one power, one law, and it's attraction. The secret is the law of attraction. Everything that is coming into your life, you are attracting into your life, and it's attracted to you by virtue of the images you're holding in your mind. It's what you're thinking. Whatever is going on in your mind, you're attracting it to you. Whatever. Every thought of yours is a real thing, a force. So you can also think of examples in your life, like um, say whatever, like you thought of something and that happened in your life. Say, for example, your college or your university you went to or your company that you worked for, anything that that you thought of in your life before and you got it. So it's the image that we create in our mind always comes into our life like that. I remember when I was a child, I always used to look at that college and I used to think that I will study in this college one day, ever since I was very young. And it actually happened that way. I went to that college for my university degree. At that time, I didn't know anything about the secret or the law of attraction or anything. But yes, it happened because whenever I crossed it, I used to think, oh, I'll go here. This is my college. I don't know how, but yes, this is so precise and accurate. So the greatest teachers who have ever lived have told us that the law of attraction is the most powerful law in the universe. Poets such as William Shakespeare, Robert Browning, and William Blake delivered it in their poetry. Musicians such as Ludwig van Beethoven expressed it through their music. Artists such as Leonardo da Vinci depicted it in their paintings. Great thinkers including Socrates, Plato, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Pythagoras, Sir Francis Bacon, Sir Isaac Newton, John Wolfgang von Goethe, and Victor Hugo shared it in their writings and teachings. Their names have been immortalized and their legendary existence has survived centuries. So many of you must have read or something about these names, like Newton, I know, who was a scientist, and the Emerson. Yeah. So all of these were scientists and great thinkers and philosophers. If you research all of them, they knew the secret and they have applied that in their lives. They have also tried to share it through their teachings. Religions such as Hinduism, Hermetic traditions, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and civilizations such as ancient Babylonians and Egyptians delivered it through their writings and stories. Even Bhagavad Gita, if you read it very whatever, I mean, there are riddles, they are tough to understand, but they all say the similar things about what we are reading. Even Guru Granth Sahib Ji is completely about this. Recorded throughout the ages in all its forms, the law can be found in ancient writings through all the centuries. It was recorded in stone in 3000 BC. So they were recorded in some language in ancient writings through all the centuries. But people who understood it applied it. People who didn't became ignorant. So even though some coveted this knowledge, and indeed they did, it has always been there for anyone to discover. So it was the discovery that we had to do to know about those ancient writings and what they say. The law began at the beginning of the time. It has always been and will always be. So this law is never gonna die. It was always there and it will always be there. It is the law that determines the complete order in the universe. Every moment of your life, every single thing you experience in your life. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. The law of attraction is forming your entire life experience. And this all powerful law is doing that through your thoughts. You are the one who calls the law of attraction into action, and you do it through your thoughts. Yeah. So this they are saying that whatever you think, you're attracting in your life. Doesn't matter where you are, who you are. It applies to you. Whether you believe it or not, it applies to you. In 1912, Charles Haanel described the law of attraction as the greatest and the most infallible law upon which the entire system of creation depends. Yeah. So Bob Proctor, wise people have always known this. You can go right back to the ancient. So what they are actually trying to do here is they are trying to prove that whatever is written in this book has been taken from the ancient writings, great people, great philosophers, and also they are writing some examples of people who have followed this, and they have been their names have been written in the golden words, and people still follow their their inventions and innovations and discoveries. So they are making a basis of what we are trying to read here is absolutely true, and it is nothing that she has created on her own and writing a book. She has actually done the research on all these books before publishing this movie or before writing this secret. So these are the instances or examples she's putting here for all of us to believe, because belief is very important. So she's trying to make us believe that yes, every word in this book is true. So the ancient Babylonians and the great prosperity have been well documented by scholars. They are all known for creating one of the seven wonders of the world. So the secret was followed by Babylonians, who were the creators of the seven wonders of the world, the hanging gardens of Babylon. Through their understanding and application of the laws of universe, they became one of the wealthiest races in history. Okay, so Bob Proctor is saying, why do you think that 1% of the population earns around 96% of all the money that's being earned? Do you think that's an accident? It's designed that way. They understand something, they understand the secret. And now you are being introduced to the secret. People who have drawn wealth into their lives use the secret, whether consciously or unconsciously. They think thoughts of abundance and wealth, and they do not allow any contradictory thoughts to take root in their minds. So, uh, whosoever in this world has wealth, wealth means any kind of amount in their accounts. If they have money in their accounts and that's a saving, okay, then they have followed the secret, consciously or unconsciously. Any person in this world who has wealth in their account, they have a house, they have fulfilling holidays, they have fulfilling, you know, food, water, and everything that is required for a basic life. And they also have some capital in their accounts. That means they have used the secret consciously or unconsciously. What they have done, they are only focusing on abundance and wealth, and they do not allow their minds to get distracted by anything contradictory to wealth. Their predominant thoughts are of wealth. They only know wealth, and nothing else exists in their minds. When they are aware of it, or whether they are aware of it or not, their predominant thoughts of wealth are what brought wealth to them. It is a law of attraction in action. So if you're focusing your mind only on wealth, richness, richness, you're thinking about the luxury holidays, you're thinking about a beautiful house, you're thinking about some large amount of money in your account, or you're thinking about your beautiful car or a luxury car or luxury hotels, resorts, anything that is related to wealth, then you will attract wealth in your lives. But if you're focusing on, say, poverty, why this is there, why there is so much poverty, why there is so poor people, then your thoughts are going towards a complaining zone, toward it's contradictory to wealth. So focus on what you want in your life. So this is what they say. A perfect example to demonstrate the secret and the law of attraction in action is this. You may know of people who acquired massive wealth, lost it all, and within a short period acquired massive wealth again. What happened in these cases, whether they knew it or not, is that their dominant thoughts were on wealth. That is how they acquired it in the first instance. Then they allowed fearful thoughts of losing the wealth to enter their minds. Okay, they had all the wealth. First they focused on health, wealth, and then they found got it. And then they had the fear of losing the wealth until those fearful thoughts of loss became their dominant thoughts. They tipped the scales from thinking thoughts of wealth to thinking thoughts of loss, and so they lost it all. Once they had lost it, however, the fear of loss disappeared, and they tipped the scales back with dominant thoughts of wealth, and wealth returned. So, whatever we are thinking, we are attracting in our life. So, once they were rich, they had fearful thoughts of losing the wealth. So, they lost it. Like, there are many people who started with, abundance of money, and then they lost it all because of whatever energy they were giving to the money they had. Yeah. So when they tip it's about the tipping the scales. What are your dominant thoughts? Out of 24 hours, but 13 hours are focused on wealth or towards poverty. So what your dominant thoughts are. If your dominant thoughts are of wealth, you will attract wealth in your life. So how we practiced this in our last book, by only being grateful for what we have. Yeah, so this is the basic book, but that is basically applying that knowledge in our lives. So how we did it, this is an example of why we did that, why we are focusing on attention of what we have already, because that will make our focus towards wealth, towards the abundance of money in our lives already. Yeah, I think now it makes more sense to all of you. The law responds to your thoughts, no matter what they may be. So it's a huge book, actually. I'll read. We have 6 minutes left. Do you want me to read more? Because it's just started now. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you should continue if everyone's fine with it.
Yeah, 4 minutes more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like attracts like. John Asraf. The simplest way for me to look at the law of attraction is if I think of myself as a magnet, and I know that a magnet will attract to it. Yeah, you're the most powerful magnet in the universe. You contain a magnetic power within you that is more powerful than anything in this world. And this unfathomable magnetic power is emitted through your thoughts. So you are a most powerful magnet in the universe. So whatever you are thinking, you're transmitting a signal into the universe and you're attracting similar pattern in your life. Bob Doyle, author and law of attraction specialist. Basically put, the law of attraction says that like attracts like, but we are really talking at a level of thought. The law of attraction says like attracts like, and as you think a thought, you're also attracting like thoughts to you. Here are more examples you may have experienced of the law of attraction in your life. Have you ever started to think about something you were not happy about? And the more you thought about it, the worse it seemed? Yeah, it happens with every one of us. That's because as you think one sustained thought, the law of attraction immediately brings more like thoughts to you. In a matter of minutes, you have gotten into so many like unhappy thoughts coming to you that the situation seems to be getting worse. The more you think about it, the more upset you get. So, whatever we are thinking, we are attracting similar thoughts again in our lives. If I'm thinking negative about such a certain situation, I'll get numerous thoughts which will make me unhappy about the same situation. So, you may have experienced attracting like thoughts when you listen to a song and then found that you couldn't get that song out of your head. The song just keep playing over and over in your mind. So when you listen to that song, even though you may not have realized it, you gave your full attention and focus of thought to it. As you did that, you're powerfully attracting more like thoughts of that song, And so the law of attraction moved into action and delivered more thoughts of that song over and over again. So you can imagine now how a like thought can attract another like thought into your life. So how like attract like works. So that is why we are always told to think positive. So when we think positive, we attract more and more positive thoughts in our lives, and that can create our life. Yeah. So I think we need to stop here. Mm, okay, no choice. I wanted to cover something very important, but which was after this actually, that sometimes we think no, that how it will be like, my thoughts are attracting so much of things, so I will attract something bad. So this I wanted to cover anyways. We'll cover it next time. It's after this 2 pages actually. So we need to we need to always say what we want in our lives. This is what I want to say before ending. So I just request you for the next week, just try to, okay, just try to say what you want rather than saying that you don't want in your life. Okay, say for example, you shouldn't say that I don't want to miss my bus, or I don't want to go to this place, or I don't want that I meet with whatever negative situation. I don't want, you are not saying for the next week before we meet on Friday. We will only say what we want, only affirmative sentences. Are you with me? Only a positive sentence that will
Yes,
say
yes, yes.
that I want to listen to a song, or I want to reach my office on time, or I want my children to get this percentage or get passed, or ऐसे भी नहीं बोलना है कि पढ़ोगे नहीं तो फेल हो जाओगे क्योंकि आप ये नहीं चाहते हो। बोलते हैं ना हम, अभी पढ़ेगा नहीं तो फेल हो जाएगा, या फिर इस टाइप के सेंटेंसेस को, बाहर मत जाओ ठंड लग जाएगी. So these are all basic things which we make mistakes in our life, and whatever we are saying, we are attracting in our lives. Yeah, so no, law of attraction will not listen to no. Will not listen to no. It only focuses on what you are thinking and saying. Okay, so this is your assignment for the week, and keep writing your blessings, and session will end soon. 40 minutes seem too less to me today. Anyways, thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you, Zoom. Thank you, Internet. Thank you, Secret Book. Thank you, Rhonda Byrne. Thank you. Thank you for our eyes so we can